Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thanks again for joining me here. I hope you're having a phenomenal day. Quick look here again at Bitcoin, double checking a couple of important things here. We got that nice candle wick up to that 1.272 fib level, roughly 69,700. I sent out a playout chart here earlier, of course, after my analysis, and it does indicate that we are expecting the price to go this far with this extra level of liquidity at 70,000. Now that that's been swept, we could see the price action retrace or consolidate. It's kind of already done that though, right, folks? It came all the way back down to 68,000 and bounced off that previous high. So that might be the lowest it's going to go for the moment. Either way, we got a low volume candle here forming. Let's go ahead and see what's going on here. If you're new to the channel, welcome aboard. I hope you can learn something today. If you do want to become a better trader, CryptoCache.tech is the site. Link down below. Congrats to a lot of our community members too as well, our newer members. That cost a nice profit here today. AVAX 33%, nice little CASP along 21%. Unfortunately, we only got filled on one exchange there, but still a nice little profit nonetheless. Congrats again, awesome stuff. Let's look at the backend data. This is the 1 month time frame here for us. And what we're looking at here is just some important levels, all right? So when we looked at this earlier, we were at like 68,000 some change, and that level at 70,000 was highly regarded. And now, what do you know? Completely swept here. A lot of shorts got destroyed. I think there was billions of dollars in short liquidation. Okay, now again, no surprise. Why do you short into a retest of an ascending trend and effectively a resistance level? There's a lot of reasons why you do not short Bitcoin right now. I get why you're considering it at 70,000. It seems like a likely target, but it's not really a good idea. You saw my short from earlier, or my TikTok, Twitter, Telegram. I posted post shorts now daily, and those are essentially just kind of little heads up and warnings of where we're at. And I was talking about the importance of that level at 70,000. So now that we know that's been swept, what's next here? Well, there is areas about 73 upwards of 75,000. Those are smaller, but they're starting to grow. That's standard when people consider shorting, as they have already here so far, as soon as the price action hits a quote-unquote resistance. Now, keep in mind, even numbers are psychological support and resistances. So 60,000, strong support. 70,000, strong resistance, at least we can presume it is for the moment. It just got rejected there, and I think we had some previous resistance there as well. So let's go ahead and double check a couple of things. And if you saw my video from earlier today, I talked about the importance of the weekly stochastic RSI and how this convergence has been consistent. The last five times we converged stochastically on the weekly, we've seen an average of 60 to 70% follow through effectively from there. So keep in mind, from bottom to top, that's roughly what we're looking at here. This is kind of the average. I can draw out some new time frames later just to give you perspective, but if you want to understand what I mean by that, watch my shorts, watch whatever content I have recent. Of course, I've talked about that a lot, and just that's an important factor. Now, is that guaranteed that we're going to shoot to 90,000, 100,000? No, but it's a statistical probability at this point, especially if we can break through this more recent resistance level here. This range about, that 1.618, 72,000 upwards of 75 or 74. Important levels to understand. Okay, so we're over this point of control. We talked about this earlier. Just to clarify, we have a point of control at about 66/67,000. Mainly at 67,000 now. There's a lot of longs at that range, or more importantly, just in general, long or shorts, whatever the case is, people are buying more at 67,000. That's the largest average we have. If we look down below too, we can see stochastic still swinging upwards. Everything here is fully bullish. Cool thing is, we're still not even at 70 yet on the RSI. We got plenty of room to grow. So if Bitcoin continues to surge, it's not going to just pull back because it's overextended. But first of all, you don't short an overextension. But anyways, a lot of people will consider that. Once we hit 70, we want to have maybe a different conversation. We're probably likely going to hit that though. At this point, I don't see a massive pullback coming from Bitcoin based on the lack of selling pressure that we have right now and how strong things are moving. So daily time frame, very, very bullish. We're good. We're over the 50-day SMA. That was one of my two reasons why I think Bitcoin's going to surge to 70,000 is staying over 50-day SMA. Okay, now it's likely to continue further up, but that stochastic swing on the weekly and the 50-day SMA on the daily, put those two things together, they almost always win. Okay? Those are definite winners. And so far, look at this doji candle. My goodness, that is a nice doji candle. The amount of volume we're seeing here in the last 8 hours is insane. So again, please try not to short this coin, folks. I don't know what you're thinking. You don't just short into an overextension. You short with confirmation, and there's zero confirming factors the price is going to turn around. Even if it does pull back to 67, 66,000 tomorrow, there's no indication it's going to. That's the reason why I'm not planning to do that with our community. Okay, so please, please, please be careful shorting this coin and most coins right now too. Unless you're shorting Gala, I think you're going to have a significant disadvantage. Either way, we're over 50 on the RSI, over 70. Well, I talked about this earlier. Generally, the common time frame in which the price action stays above 70 in the RSI is somewhere between 1 to 3 days. So we've been there since, what, 9 a.m. today? That means we got probably a good another 24 to 48 hours of the price action being over 70 in the RSI, implying the price action is going to probably stay where it's at or go higher. That's generally the concept. And again, if you're in a long for Bitcoin, the common rule of thumb is to consider taking some profit when the RSI drops below 70. Okay? You never sell when the RSI hits 70, you sell when it comes back down. If you're more of a conservative trader like myself, right? I would have had a goal to sell already if I was in a long for Bitcoin, but again, I'm not, and that's okay. We did miss our entry by like $200 down at like 66,000. It was kind of unfortunate, but Bitcoin's been an elusive monster lately, so don't feel bad if you didn't get in on that trade, or just in general having trouble getting filled. Prices are running all over the place. It's just a crazy market. Last but not least here, folks, Ichimoku Cloud. Where are we at here? Well, we're solid green lights in every single scenario. We can see here Cloud is consolidating in the range of 67,700. So that 68K range is probably the easiest way to describe somewhat of a tentative support, because that was a previous resistance here for the price action when it wicked up for the first time. We can also see our 5 here with Elliott Wave likely come into fruition unless it goes higher. So at this point, right now, 69,900 is the top. Okay, that's the tentative top. Continues to run, different story, obviously, but generally speaking, what normally comes to follow here, just so you understand, is an ABC pattern that established itself, a lower low and a lower high. Sorry, 2 lower lows and a lower high. So generally speaking, that is the potential next step, right? Not saying you should short this coin. If anything, wait for the pullback and buy that next dip. At this point, I do not recommend shorting whatsoever until we get confirmation. And generally speaking, confirmation comes when the price action is closing below the cloud, below the most recent high, for example. We lose specific moving averages on the 4-hour time frame, which we haven't yet. Nothing is showing bearish tendencies or qualities. Okay, so again, I don't care if the price drops to 64,000 tomorrow. There's nothing confirming right now that's going to do that, unless Bitcoin shenanigans unfold, which are very consistent, of course. We shouldn't see that from a technical standpoint. Okay. All right, so I'm going to post this on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. Again, another playout chart. So if you're curious about that, help me grow the channel again. Like the video if you haven't already, and obviously, consider watching some of my shorts there. I have those on Twitter, Telegram, Discord, pretty much every possible medium. So link down below for all that. And again, if you want to trade with the world's best exchange, $5,500 in benefit rewards if you use BitUnix, I recommend them to our community. They're awesome because there's no KYC or VPN required in the US. So it's a win-win, folks. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.